Hello and welcome to another Doctor's Assistant 1 video. Today I'm doing a video on my thoughts on the Marvel film Doctor Strange. Yes, I'm finally doing a sort of my thoughts on Doctor Strange and or review or whatever you want to call it sort of thing. Yeah, I enjoyed the film. I mean, I think this, when I finally got it on DVD, it was I've just finished watching it. It's a second sort of viewing of said film, and that because I first saw it on Netflix. Liked it enough that I wanted to buy the DVD and that. On second viewing, I think I have sort of not liked it as much, but that might just be because on first viewing why I liked it probably so much was just because it was something so different from a lot of the other Marvel films I'd sort of seen and stuff at this point, and also because much like with Wonder Woman, the DC film Wonder Woman, with the likes of Doctor Strange, I hadn't really I've never really read any of the comic books or graphic novels that it features in, so for me, not only was this visually quite a different film, but it was different because again I've never really sort of delved into the lore and mythology and this character's sort of source material, as it were, in so much as the comic books and the graphic novels, as I say. So I mean, I know of the character in so much as I've seen the character in different video games and in animated TV shows that I've seen and that, and yeah, and it's kind of weird because I probably didn't watch the Avengers films in particularly correctly, in so much as I haven't watched them all in sort of chronological order. Like, what I mean is that when I saw Avengers Infinity War at the cinema, I basically saw that without seeing quite a few of the other films, and that one in particular being Doctor Strange. So my first sort of impressions and sort of seeing Benedict Cumberbatch play the character was first introduced to me in that film, and then I went back to his sort of solo film and that. Obviously this does a really good job of like introducing the character and showing us who he is before he gets to the point that he's at, obviously, in Infinity War and that. But yeah, he's neurosurgeon at first. Obviously this will include spoilers, this sort of review and or video will include spoilers, so yeah, he's sort of a doctor or surgeon even, and that, and as I say, I don't know if this is faithful to the comics because I've not read them, so but I like that. I like the fact that he's this sort of character who at the beginning is very much sure of himself, very sure of himself, cocky, confident, and arrogant and stubborn is definitely two words I'd describe him as well. He very much, yeah, is sort of narrow-minded at first to what's possible in terms of this sort of mystic, magical sort of world and that. And there's some nice plot reveals and twists, I guess, towards the latter end. And that I adore, where I didn't enjoy so much the sort of end battle in Wonder Woman, I really did enjoy the end battle here because it very much just feels like Doctor Who, really, and that, so which is always good for me. But in so much as it kind of reminds me of City of Death, the beginning of City of Death, where Tom and Romana and the Doctor are in a time loop, and basically that is what the ending bit is. That's how he tricks the bad guy. He starts being in a time loop, which I really love. The visuals in this film are just incredible, you know, like absolutely next level sort of visuals, in so much as the world shifting and changing and that, and all the visual different like landscapes and surreal space, astral sort of worlds and planets and that, you know, there's all these different planes of existence and realities and that, and you know, the really incredible and that, and then you've got these like sort of sling rings, which then open portals to be able to jump through to another like world or different place. So like basically like Portal, the video game. So like if you made one and that, then you would be able to like jump to school essentially, or to work or wherever if you needed to get somewhere quickly. And that I like the bad guy in this, who is the same guy who is the dad in Rogue One, and that, the same actor anyway. He's okay, he's alright. I mean, I like the sort of makeup and the effect of his eyes being sort of crumbly, and there's like this ash almost makeup, and he's got like these purpley eyes and that, kind of very demonic, and I like that. But yeah, I thought he was okay. He was alright. I think the actual sort of threat was more the creature at the end, the sort of cosmic creature at the end, which I thought was cool as well. Whether or not it was that threatening is debatable. I think the problem with the villain is that it gets talked up, and then it sort of just doesn't really do anything much, and then it just gets easily defeated very quickly, you know. But yeah, I found it weird how there's this one side character who I don't know the name of, but he's the black character who basically berates Doctor Strange midway through the film about how he's not killing anyone and how he's weak and how he should just, you know, get a spine and grow a pair basically and kill or whatever. But then right at the end, spoiler alert, but then that same character's like, oh well, things aren't going the way that I thought they were going to go. I don't think you're using your powers correctly and the way the ancient ones and so on would like it, or the way I've been taught, so I'm gonna just leave now, even though I just, you know, X amount of minutes ago started yelling at you, bye! Like, it didn't really make much sense. Like, he just, as I say, just fucks off at the end of the film. There's a bit where Wong, I think it is, the other side character, to Doctor Strange mentions about the Infinity Stones, which is nice because that obviously then ties in with Infinity War, because Doctor Strange has the Time Infinity Stone, and that's how he's able to manipulate time, which again I really like. And that I love the costume as well, with the red cape and that, and I love how in Marvel films it seems to be a bit of a trope of theirs, you could argue, but I like it, which is that as the film progresses, eventually you get that sort of epic reveal of the main character, who is the superhero, and their costume, you know. It doesn't happen always right at the beginning, sometimes it does, sometimes it's the middle of the film, but either way it's always very sort of triumphant and a standout moment basically in these films, to me at least anyway. What else? There's nice humour sprinkled in here and there as well, like when at the end, or near the end, when Wong laughs at the joke that Doctor Strange makes, and that, and I thought that was funny because it's like the laugh is just so unbelievably strange in itself, really, and the fact that, you know, Doctor Strange's character earlier on in the film asks him if he ever laughs at anything. But yeah, their sort of chemistry is really nice as well. The one who plays the sort of Ancient One, is she called the Ancient One? The woman, basically, the bald woman, she's pretty cool. And that, I really like the actress who plays the sort of love interest for Doctor Strange as well. I don't know her name, or I can't remember her name. I have a memory like a sieve. She's really nice. I like the fact that at the beginning, or early on, Stephen Strange is very much sort of demoralised and broken down character, because of events that happen early on in the film, and very much chooses to push her away, which I don't know, I find quite, I just find that quite interesting, that, you know, that's the approach that he takes, and that, and he's very arrogant and stubborn as to fixing himself and trying to get to where he used to be, and that, and yeah, it's very interesting to see where the character, where you start off the film and where you end up at the end. You know, that Doctor Strange, or Stephen Strange as a character, is very different from at the beginning to the end of the film, which just shows the sort of character development he goes on. So yeah, that's all I've really got to say about that film. Thanks for watching, comment, rate and subscribe.